All Ball TV. They scared, but I'm not. They don't like comentario.
Y suscribe.
Yeah. Yeah. Always gotta make sure the mic check is good, levels is good. I guess we ain't getting no notifications out your YouTube. Man, come on, YouTube. We did the right thing, man. Made sure no other videos had notifications. Look, boom. No notifications. That shit is whack. Got some people in the building. On a pen, let me know what's going on. Let's start this off early. I don't know. We should do All Ball reaction first. Let All Ball jump in. He should be joining us soon. Nostalgic Nick, what's going on? Always appreciate y'all love, man. Without y'all, there is no us. Seriously. Hit that like button, hit the share button, subscribe, hit that membership button. All these things matter to spread the word. You know, we doing this from the rooter to the tutor. Ain't nobody helping us. Ain't nobody coming to get us, papa. Come on. Ya tú sabes que lo que, mamá huevo. I'm not frozen. We chosen, baby, like Jalen Brunson. Turbo! What's going on, fellas? Let's get in the mix, man. Damn Knicks, man. Let's start off with this. You know what? I see something light, but they heavy though. What? Looks like, but we heavy though. Jaylen Brown looking like an MVP. We'll get into that in a second. Kevin Durant disrespecting D Wade. If I was a foot tall, I would smack him. That's straight the fuck up. What is he talking about? What is he talking about? What is anybody talking about? Anytime, anywhere, anymore? Is anybody real anymore? I don't know. They don't even know what real is. Just be authentic. I blame the rappers, man. I blame hip hop. I blame it for remixing what real means. Just be yourself. Is Kevin Durant being himself? Maybe. Sounding stupid out here on the internet. Shout out to Dime Dropper. Shout out to the peoples, man. All our peoples. See, I wanted to also get into Rich Paul saying nobody wanted to be like Mike. Just a lot of just dumb shit going on. Like, what is he talking about? Darlene B, what's going on? Everybody's just full of shit, man. Right, it's full of shit. Want to keep it light? Let's keep it light. Let's keep it light. Who's the heavyweight? Let me see. Let's keep it light. Let's start off with some Knicks news. Garshawn Yabusele has a diet plan? Work it out, work it out. Maybe we could work. Your man got a medical plan out here, ladies and gentlemen. Garshawn Yabusele in the mix. He's quoted, if you play 3 seasons in the NBA, you get a lifetime pension. After 4 seasons, medical expenses are covered for life. and after 5 years, the medical coverage is extended to the entire family. I want to play for 5 years here in the NBA so that my family can benefit from that lifetime care. You never know what can happen in life. Garshawn Yabusele. Wee. I'm robbing the Knicks. I'm robbing the NBA. Listen, I respect it. Garshawn Yabusele says his plan is to play 5 seasons in the NBA to guarantee that medical plan. That tells me it's a hard knock life out there. It's a hard knock life out there. Fuck what you heard. You heard the man. If you play 3 seasons in the NBA, you get a lifetime pension. After 4 seasons, you get medical expenses covered for life. And 5 seasons of playing in the NBA, you will get medical coverage extended to your entire family for life. His goal is to play 5 years. Right. Are we going to get anything for this bum in a trade? Go get your 5 years from somewhere else, from some other city. Go to Miami. It's closer to where you need to get, you know, that other medical plan you've been on, Yabu. That's more up your alley. BBL City. The medical expenses in New York is no joke. Oh, my bad. You want the medical plan from the NBA anyway, so you good money. So, Garshawn Yabusele, allegedly, BBL Selly is saying that the medical expenses are so crazy. He's planning on playing in the NBA for 5 seasons, not for a championship, not for a max contract, to guarantee that somebody pays for the BBL. Allegedly. Twice as nice, but 3 times, you won't lose. Allegedly, Yabusele is guaranteeing BBLs for everybody in the Yabusele family if he plays 5 years in the NBA. Go take that to Wade County, man. What is he talking about? Quantum Pen, we will be live tonight during the game. I got a spot posted up on my bed. I might have to pause that, and I usually don't pause nothing. I'm 43. Laid up. But back to Yabu. I respect it. At least he's honest. Yo, I don't want no chip, man. He said, I don't want a championship. I want to guarantee that I get to see that doctor after 5 years. I want to guarantee that my kids, my wife, my mama, anybody could get that BBL, allegedly, if you're fucking with Yabu. I respect that, man. Do you guys respect it? I don't know. We got to get silly, though. Start off with some more silly news. Mike Brown used to babysit the Detroit Pistons head coach, JB Bickerstaff. They're very familiar with each other. James Edwards, big time on Knicks columnist. See here, before staying with Jalen Brunson, before he was a fun-loving assistant coach to Steph Curry, before tapping in to lead the last years of Kobe Bryant's prime, before coaching LeBron James to the first NBA Finals, Mike Brown was a babysitter. Babysitter JB Bickerstaff. JB Bickerstaff said Mike Brown was strict. He had a great way of making things fun, but always organized and detailed. There weren't going to be things that were missed. He was scared to death of my dad. He wasn't going to let anything happen to me. NBA coaches will they face off tonight, obviously, for the first time this season. babysitting actually eventually matured into a mentor-mentee relationship more than 30 years later. So these guys are still close friends. They're still close friends. And country artists, I guess they fans of Jelly Roll, some country artists. We're supposed to connect this summer because I like country music. He's not a fan of it, and I tried to explain it to him. I went to see Jelly Roll one time and sent him some pictures. So they like country music. They want to go to a country music concert together. And here they explain the relationship between the two began, obviously, in Denver, early 1990s, when Bickerstaff's father, Bernie, was the general manager of the Nuggets. Brown secured his first NBA job as an entry-level video assistant. Look, similar to Spoelstra, the GOAT coach, according to ALLBALL. He's up there, in my opinion. So Brown was the entry level of video assistant. Part of his Brown's responsibilities, aside from work on the video room, was to watch over younger Bickerstaff, who was around 13. Bernie was out of town. Brown, who was in his early 20s, would do things like take the youngster to the zoo. They play one-on-one. Brown would attend Bickerstaff's basketball games at East High School in Denver. Even at 14, many saw Bickerstaff as the next big basketball star to come out of Denver. Because of how good Bickerstaff was as a prep player, Brown never really envisioned Bickerstaff becoming a coach. He was a really good player. I didn't know where his plan would take him. There are some guys, like, if it were me, they'd be like, he's not playing. He's got a good chance to coach. Wow. So this is interesting too. Like, AllBall always stressed this before too. Just the fact that how big basketball is, and we tend to overlook just the ecosystem of basketball and how you can be a referee, you can be a head coach, obviously, like JB Bickerstaff eventually, like his father. And Bernie was a big time deal. I think he was in DC also with the Bullets back then and the Wizards today. And to see, imagine you everybody has hoop dreams, and then the gene pool settles in. Are you tall enough? Do you jump hard enough, quick enough? And JB Bickerstaff, obviously, life went different for him. But to see how, like, even Mike Brown couldn't see him being a coach, it's interesting now that obviously JB Bickerstaff, who was fired from the Cavaliers 2 seasons ago, even though they were doing their thing, they still wanted to go a different route. Obviously, the Cavaliers hired Kenny Atkinson, and for JB Bickerstaff to join the Detroit Pistons was great for him, because we all felt like, Monty Williams was kind of given a raw deal. They were young. Cade Cunningham was hurt. He was injured. So this is the life and times of just ball players, and you see the difference in the paths that one can take. Look, JB Bickerstaff was first team All-State and had big colleges recruiting him. When Bickerstaff was a freshman in high school, he interned for Brown inside the Nuggets video room. It was there when Brown and Bickerstaff put together clips of college prospects ahead of the NBA draft for Denver's coaches and front office to evaluate. So this is the 1990s. This is the 90s where they had VCRs on deck, and Bickerstaff already basically you're interning and you're cementing some sort of path in the league, and you're saying, all right, what if playing ball doesn't factor? What if playing ball doesn't work out? And he saw Mike Brown as a mentor there, and he saw a way out just in case the ball playing doesn't work, and you still get to be around basketball. So this was old school when you had deck to deck VCRs. He taught me how to do it. Those early days had a lasting impact on Bickerstaff. It wasn't just that Brown took him under the wing, even if he might have been forced to. He did it while never making it feel like a burden. I respected him even at that age. And at that time, I thought he was old. Didn't typically treat kids right. For a 20-year-old or whatever to carry around a 12 or 13-year-old, it wasn't common either. He was willing to spend time. We work on the court. We play one-on-one. He just made me feel comfortable. There's a lot of respect, admiration, and some history with these two coaches. Hopefully they still have the old school in them to go back and forth with each other tonight, especially, Mike Brown was known for being a nice guy, and we know he's a nice guy. JB Bickerstaff got a lot of fire to him, though, as we, beyond well documented. JB Bickerstaff, just the way he was going crazy on SGA, and I don't remember anybody going crazy on OKC or SGA like he did last year. He went bananas on in the media. I don't know if he got fined for it. I forgot if he did, but he was the first one to be like, yo, man, don't do that to my players. And as he was changing the image and the culture for the Pistons. And you see here, lo and behold, fast forward 8 months later, it was then in January that the Pistons turned the corner. And I think Bickerstaff was able to gain some confidence with his team because he saw like there was something there to even protect, push for, and fight for. And now they're in a position where he shouldn't have to go crazy like that on the refs. You have the respect. That thing went super viral. I'm pretty sure many NBA fans saw it. There is such a conversation about SGA and the OKC fouling. That conversation is so prevalent that now when you watch an OKC game, you feel like they were cheating. And now you're like, what happened to all those Michael Jordan comparisons? See a big difference. There was a difference with the way that the referees coached the Phoenix Suns last night. I don't know if you guys got to watch that game. Devin Booker was going, he did well. And the way OKC was strategically going at Booker, they were sending double teams at him. But OKC, there were 3 straight plays in a row where the kid Dunn put his hands up. They call it verticality now. We just call it put your hands up back in the day. They have a fancy new remix for everything. And SGA tried to get the foul. He hit the shot over him. They didn't call it. Next play, Devin Booker, similar play. And Devin Booker didn't get to the spot as quickly, but SGA still shot it over him, and they call like an and one. Or I don't know. I forgot if SGA hit the free throw, but their teams are starting to stay away from hitting SGA, and they're giving him the hardened treatment in real time. But there was some murmurs and some sort of talk about SGA and the foul being a foul merchant, even though he's nowhere near the top of the league. Same thing with Jalen Brunson. And now it's turning into a conversation, especially when you got the Phoenix Suns who compete night in, night out. When you watch the Phoenix Suns, they might not be a playoff team, but they're competitive with everyone. They've beaten the Lakers a couple times, and they just beat OKC last night. But I don't think any of this happens if JB Bickerstaff isn't the one to get this thing steamrolling and telling the media like, yo, I got my guys not only play basketball, they're competitive and we're physical. We're not letting that up. So what's the difference between us playing basketball and OKC? SGA is not Michael Jordan. You are not sending the ratings through the roof. The big dogs are always going to get special treatment. It is what it is. And Bickerstaff is the one who led the domino effect. He led the domino effect. And now we see here, January 5th, it's a showdown tonight. Somebody asked in the comments, am I going dolo? For now, I shall be joined by some cohorts sooner than later. Tory B, what's going on? Afternoon Live. Yep. Afternoon Live. It's a big deal. Let's stop playing these games, ladies and gentlemen. You see the thumbnail. I didn't even hit the... Y'all know what this is.
Knicks rehab.
Knicks rehab, y'all. OG Anunoby, Mikal Bridges. As soon as we traded for Mikal Bridges, Knicks fans went bananas. Very controversial for 5 draft picks. And of course, in the New York rigmarole, somehow OG and Mikal Bridges were dubbed Wingstop. But ever since Mikal Bridges and OG Anunoby started rocking that blue and orange, everybody's been taking a trip right past Wingstop, turn that shit into a bus stop. They doing a drive-by on Wingstop, all ball.
Ball suckers. First and foremost, how's the audio and how am I looking? How is it looking on the screen?
You sound immaculate. You look gracious out here in these streets, the internet streets, all ball.
Nigga don't feel immaculate and gracious. I'll tell you that much.
I'm not gonna lie. I just went to the little boy's room and I feel even better than when I came on this live. Are you kidding me? You need to go and visit your peoples. You gotta go get that, that green tea, drink some more water. You know what I mean? What's going on with you, all boy? Why do you look like that, man? What is that face about? I don't know.
Big game tonight, man. I'm nervous. I think tonight tells the season for me. Sorry. I'm a Knicks fan that's realistic and I panics. That's me. Listen, I don't trust nothing. I don't like nothing. I'm very impatient. Tonight, I'm very nervous. My phone, listen, we going live too. People in the building right now. Listen.
We got 49 people on All Ball TV, 25 on Favorite Perspective channel. We'll soon be changing all that. Let them know tonight will be a watch live party.
Knicks versus Detroit.
Party. The Pistons.
7 o'clock.
Oh boy, we've been talking about this for a couple months now. Initially, of course, the season starts, the Pistons are hot, and I'm just like, yo, the Cade. Oh, hold on, Duran? What's up with these boys? And you were like, man, please. You gave us the flea treatment, like, do it again. And all of a sudden, late November hit, early December hit, and All Ball said,
well, I'm gonna say this. Last season, everybody picked Detroit to beat us. I think, we're a totally different ball club in the playoffs. We know the playoffs is a whole different vibe in regular season. So, of course, the first week of January, to the basketball world, this may mean nothing. But me being a diehard Knicks fan, this means everything. The same people that love Detroit back then love them now. Very well coached. I love how that coach is. I love his aggressiveness. I love just how he is. They have a very great young team. They on the up and coming. But listen, I think they're meeting us in the playoffs. I think it'll still go the same way it went last season. But tonight, for me, this game tells our season as far as the regular season. In the playoffs, listen, we may not have the same team in the playoffs. There might be some moves being made depending on how tonight goes. I think tonight is very important for the players and for the fans. I think if we win this game in a certain fashion and get things back on track, then I think we'll be okay. If I'm not mistaken, I think Josh Hart is playing tonight. But if we lose in a certain fashion, there will be some furniture moving. I'm sorry. And now, when I was talking about go get Giannis, when I was talking about go get AD, when I was talking about make certain moves, I wonder if I still sound a little crazy. Now is OG, Bridges, whoever else. Is that still too much for Giannis? I'm just saying. So for me, I think tonight, Mike Brown needs to coach a hell of a game, and we need to come out like gangbusters. I think everybody is in the red, including my guy Brunson. And tonight we have to make a statement, Fabian, for the league. We need to put the league on notice tonight that okay, yeah, Detroit is good. They have an up and coming superstar, great team. They on the verge, but not yet because we are here and we ain't going nowhere. So I think tonight is very important. I think Cat and Brunson needs to make a statement. That's my thing. Cat and Brunson needs to make a statement tonight. That no, not yet, young fellas.
oh boy, do me a favor, jump out and jump back in because it's not the same as before. Like you were immaculate before. Now it's just jump back in when you can. We'll see you when you get here. But that's an important thing that he's talking about, man, because Josh Hart, by the way, thank you, CeeLo. He's out until the 11th. I saw he was ruled out for tonight against the Pistons. And of course, we're always saying that we have to prove ourselves. Jalen Brunson has to prove himself. Everybody has to prove themselves, especially after a 3-game skid with, the NBA Cup curse. There's an NBA Cup curse, everybody. The Lakers they felt they faltered to it. The Bucks faltered to it. And now the Knicks seem to have been the latest victim of the NBA Cup curse. The curse of the Silverino. Adam Silver, you son of a bitch. What kind of voodoo are you? What kind of voodoo are you putting on the Knicks? You bastard. Adam Silver. He put a curse on us, all boy. He's putting a curse on anybody wins the NBA Cup. James Dolan said, fuck your banner. Taking that shit. I ain't putting it up there. And I don't feel like Brunson has anything to prove anymore to me because he's always going to be Brunson. Everybody else has something to prove. Maybe I was a little harsh on OG Anunoby last game, but I'm tired of you trying to go be this offensive threat. You're developing that. I've seen him regress a bit defensively because the first thing I saw when he got here was he was able to guard Joker, Giannis, and Embiid. And haven't seen that the last time out against Giannis. I haven't seen it the last time against Embiid. I didn't really see him on Embiid. But forget all that, old ball. Let's talk about how this Wingstop became a bus stop. Everybody just driving by like they 50 Cent on Entourage, just laughing at us. And Mikal Bridges, he gets here, he's traded for 5 draft picks. Everybody's going crazy. It was polarizing. For me, I was fine with it if we were keeping the same team and you keep Dante, you keep your depth. But once you get rid of Randall and Dante, you shrink the depth, and now you're adding Cat. So, oh, wait a minute. You changing the whole format of this team. There's no toughness. At least Randall, he's going to be by default a lunatic. After that trade, before we even play a game, this is one thing that went over my head also. I got 2 points. Before we even played a game, they were called Wingstop. And we ain't stopped nobody. Nothing. That sounds very familiar in case we forget, because we clown the king for the very same thing. Not 1, not 2, not 3. Before they step foot in here, they will call Wingstop. That's number 1. Number 2, not only do you not show improve, I thought about this yesterday. How is it that when we're playing, even at our best, whether it's the playoffs or whatever it is, the first thing everybody said was, yo, the Knicks don't got nobody that could hold a rock and bring the ball up besides Brunson. So what do they do, old ball? What's the normal thing that they do with Brunson in the playoffs if we inbound the ball? They guarding us 94 feet. 94 feet. Now, let me ask you this. When was the last time we've ever seen Mikal Bridges or OG Anunoby guard the best player, perimeter player, 94 feet? But you're supposed to be wing stop. They will guard Jalen Brunson 94 feet and make sure. Didn't we get a penalty against the 8-second penalty against the Hawks the other night? This is my problem. This is why I started to say the other night, hold on a second, OG. I love you to death, but I really, truly do not care about your offense right now. If I don't see no lockdown defense, what's the point of this? Tonight, if you ain't guarding Cade Cunningham 94 feet and putting pressure on him to create the offense a little bit later in the shot clock, what's the point of Wingstop? Y'all out there just servicing the bus lanes, guys. That's what I've been thinking about, old ball. And that's what hit me the other day when we fell to the damn. I don't even remember who we played. Who we played.
Well, remember, the San Antonio loss. Okay, that's a given, right? No heart. And it went down to the wire. And plus, San An is legit. But then to be down damn near 30 against the Hawks with no Trey Young is mind-boggling. And then the way we lost to Philly. But let me, respond to the Wingstop. It's very disappointing. And it's crazy that we have two guys that we thought were great defenders, and we are not able to just. You see what Atlanta did with Daniels and Brunson? We not able to do that with Bridges or OG. Like so for me, it's very disappointing. And to see, OG getting the max, demanding the max, letting everybody know he's not taking a pay cut. For Bridges, for us to give up what we gave up, and you guys are not able to not get stops, but an important stop. Now, granted, Mikal Bridges made some great defensive plays in the playoffs against the Boston Celtics, right? But then what happens in Indiana, Eastern Conference? When was that Nimhard that went berserk in the fourth quarter? Now the one of y'all could stop him. One game where what's my man? He fried OG. The forward in Indiana. Can't hear you. Siakam.
Siakam.
Right. Like, and remember, I was at those games. Watching that shit live, like what? So for me, this is why when I've said it a season ago, and everybody used to get on me. And it's like, do I love my players? Pause. Yes. But we have to be honest. Like, look at the effect Dylan Brooks is having in Phoenix. What's OG not having an effect like that? Look at what Daniels and the Thompson twins was doing as far as on defense. Why isn't Bridges having that effect? I'm not saying anybody can stop Maxey. But when we need an important stop, none of y'all can get it. So for me, I don't understand how people are afraid or saying we're giving up too much to go get a Giannis. No, we're not looking for OG and Bridges to be all stars. We're looking for y'all to be all NBA first team defense and defensive player of the year winners or candidates. That's what we're looking for. Like, you're in the NBA, you're getting max contracts, you're getting traded for 5 picks. So it's a given. You better give us 14 to 20 points a night. But what we're looking for is defense. And you guys can't give it to us. Like you said, I love what you just said. We not able to put OG or Bridges on Cade Cunningham tonight and make it difficult. Okay, he might still get 25, 30, but it's going to be inefficient. It's going to be tough. How dare using them guys made it tough for Brunson. We're not able to go, okay, this is your assignment. Don't worry about nothing else.
Even
Atlanta
if
tells
even if you get cooked,
Atlanta tells Daniels the plan is him. Don't worry about nothing else. For me, to be
stay right
honest,
there. Stay right there. How many times did Jalen Brunson cook Dyson Daniels? It was like 3 or 4 times in a row. This time he said, "Oh man, I don't care what the excuse is. I'm gonna go guard up on him anyway." 94 feet. And because you know why I started thinking about this? I'm like, yo, not for nothing, but why isn't OG? How do you get left off the all defensive list? Because we all see like, damn, there's barely anybody could do those kind of plays. But then I thought about it. I said, hold on, Dyson, they're all the perimeter defenders now. Because of course, Wemby and Chet and these guys, you're just a bigger player, you're gonna be an anchor. Now, when you talk about Dyson Daniels, Amen Thompson, Tamani Kimura, hold the hell on. I see these dudes go to that inbounds pass.
But we can also talk about the young man in Miami.
Davion Mitchell.
Yeah, like he's a pest and he's legit. And I don't mean to cut you off, but a guy like Daniel last season, when he led the league in steals, OG ain't doing that. Granted, OG is a great defender in spots, but we talking about 48 minutes of hell. He's not giving us that.
We're talking about what we signed you up for. This is why when you say I want him to score 18, 20 points, I say, yo, bro, that will be amazing. It
No,
would
but I
be
didn't say
great.
18, 20. No. I was saying 6. Because remember, he was at 14. I said, yo, he could give us 2, 3 more points. So I would think it was 17, 18. I definitely ain't say 20 because I know that's a bit much.
But whatever the case may be, because again, I don't look at the paper too much. Because to me, getting $40 million, you don't take enough of the cap to even be having that. For me, all the top tier guys are making 35% of the cap. 35%. OG only doing 24%. I can't be mad at that. I'm mad that we signed you up to be a defensive specialist and you are a perimeter player. You are a perimeter defensive specialist. Like the fact that you're able to guard Giannis and Joker, that's icing on the cake. But if we know why you ain't gonna guard Giannis the whole game or Joker the whole game, because how you gonna box him out? I get it. Who's Cat gonna guard? I get it. So if that's the case, how come we ain't slowing nobody up from that inbounds? Even Bridges. How? Because I'm like, yo, so he can't get around screens. So why do we have to wait for the other team to show up past half court, no pressure, no stress, and we let them actually set up something? No. In football, you can't cross the line of scrimmage until they snap the ball. Well, the line of scrimmage starts in basketball when they inbound the ball. Nobody should be doing that stupid bowling ball roll, letting the clock. None of that. There should be pressure, and that's what Chris Paul was mad at Kawhi Leonard them about on the Clippers. Bro, stop letting them roll that ball out like that. Snatch that shit. You Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard is 100 years old at this point in Kawhi years with them injuries. OG Anunoby. What are we scared to get injured? Mikal Bridges, you too light in the ass? Why can't you pick these dudes up 94?
Now, let's take it a step further. Were they ever great defenders? Like before you answer, because when I think of great defenders, I'm thinking Tony Allen, I'm thinking Ron Artest, when I'm saying perimeter guys, right? So because we're Knicks fans and we love our players, we putting extra on top? Because let's be honest, when has OG or Bridges, when they were with their previous teams, were they making that much noise defensively? Now, I'm not saying they weren't good defenders, or you watch them like, oh, that was a great. But were they ever defensive player of the year candidates? Has anybody ever raved as far as on any of the social medias or the networks or in the basketball community? Has anybody really ever went crazy about OG and Bridges as far as defensively?
Bridges can get that nod because he was second in DPOY the year they went to the chip. Also, before he got traded to the Nets, Memphis offered them 4 first-round draft picks. So there was something there is what I'm saying. But when I saw him play for Brooklyn, I said, I don't know what y'all are talking about. And even offensively, I saw him try to back down Ant-Man on a late play all ball. And you talk about weak sauce. Ant-Man went like this. Like, you know how that picture that they look at when DeMarcus Cousins looking at Cat, when he's defending him, like, what you gonna do? That's what he did to Bridges. So I said, listen, I know that's your man's, but I don't want to just trade Dante and everybody just to have you here because I don't see you being no lockdown dude. And to finish answering the question, we ain't see that with OG. Now, there may have been Toronto fans, they would have spoke to you. They all said the same thing, like, nah, that kid is locked down. He's all okay, cool. But you ain't give us 70 games of that. You still wasn't Kawhi level, because being Kawhi level means I just saw a great post by Mike Tomlin. Me and Flea were going back and forth because I said Mike Tomlin's overrated, at least when I used to watch football a decade ago. But he said what I said. It ain't about what you're capable of doing. It's about what you're willing to do. And for me, it's not about willing. You can only show willingness on that court. What OG didn't really show that beforehand. And that's why I like this comment you just made, Kev Boogie. Fabian, he is not in the type of shape to handle the extra responsibilities of the scoring and rebounding more in addition to the defense. Correct, right? We all agree about that. That's what number one, all ball is disgusted with. That's what he's disgusted with. So you can't do nothing else but that, right? That's number one. Number two, you ain't in the kind of shape to be picking up nobody up at 94 feet. There's a reason why all ball just asked that question. Yo, so what was y'all doing before y'all got here? Because if you were doing that, then we would have been asking, is something wrong with them?
Because let's be for real. Every small forward and shooting guard kills us. Jaylen Brown, Donovan Mitchell, Maxey. And then when you go to like guys like Siakam, then even when you go with some of the bench players in the 7th, 8th, 9th guys that, are between 6'4" and 6'7", that got some little bit of athleticism and they hit the three. It just seems like we have problems with all of them. So how at that position we thought we solved it and it's gotten worse. It hasn't gotten better. OG and Bridges has not made us a better defensive team. And this is the argument I used to have with you and Flea as far as like when I used to make the comparison of, Steph Curry and the Golden State Warriors as far as a la Jalen Brunson. Where it's like, listen, Curry wasn't a great defender, but they knew how to cover him and save him. They knew how to do that. Play this part. Draymond Green played this part. Then you get Gary Payton, you get Wiggins, you get guys like KD, who at that time when Golden State was playing hella defense, blocking shots and all of that, they were able to cover up for Stephen Curry. OG and Bridges and Josh Hart, Mitchell Robinson, they supposed to make up for what Jalen Brunson can't do. Let's stop acting like Jalen Brunson is the only bad defender at the point guard position. Like, seriously. John Moran ain't a great defender. Trae Young ain't a great defender. We can go down the list. It ain't a whole bunch of great defenders at the point guard position. Now, I'm not defending it. You have to at least attempt to play defense. But if the other guys, it's like being a free safety. But if the other guys ain't holding up their end of the bargain, it all crashes down. So how do we get OG, give him the max, trade for Mikal Bridges, give him all our picks, and we don't get no better on the defensive end? But then guys say, okay, putting them in a trade is too much. Man, get them niggas out of here, man. Because I've seen enough. I've seen enough. And for me, the playoffs, the last two playoffs we lost, it was because we couldn't get no stops. Both for Indiana. Game 7, second round, season before last. And then last season, no stops. Come on, man. So at the end of the day, we going to get to the playoffs and the same thing going to happen? We can't get no stops? And we going to blame Brunson and Cap for being bad defenders? What about the guys that are paid to be defenders and they can't guard nobody? Like, come on, man. Enough is enough. I'm sorry, but that Wingstop shit, I ain't seen them shut nothing down yet.
I seen a recent post by what's his name, Knicks Film School, and I think he felt like Karl Anthony Towns, the Knicks, the top 2 defense when Karl Anthony Towns is playing without Mikal Bridges. We can point to a lot of things here, but now we have to move on to when is Mike Brown going to implement that? Because in order to control this pace, it starts with a different kind of defensive assignment and a structure. We already know what Karl Anthony Towns and Jalen Brunson are, and that was part of the reason why I was looking at the free throw disparity or the change of it since when Tibbs was here compared to when Cat got here with Tibbs and when Cat here now. We're 23rd in the league last year, free throw attempts, 24th in the league this year. We're shooting way more three-pointers than when Tibbs was over here. And the physicality that Julius Randle, not just Julius Randle, Hartenstein, and Mitchell Robinson, those three in the front court. Now you got 2-3 guys that can set screens. What do you do when you set a screen? You're gonna make the next bet an actual basketball play. And I could shoot some bail to everybody on the team for not having those screen setters. But the problem for me is when you have a Jalen Brunson, Luka Doncic, Western Conference Finals, bro, I can't remember the entire team, but it was a bunch of defensive players around them. When Jalen Brunson left, you still had Gafford, Lively, big dogs in the middle, PJ Washington, all these guys who were willing to play defense. They didn't care about offense. Yeah, they didn't win, but they had the best defense in the league in that second half of the season before reaching the finals. You have to know your personnel. That means you got guys that could pick up 94 feet as well. And the Boston Celtics did exactly what we're talking about. They had 2, 3, 4 guys going 94 feet on Luka Doncic. They weren't playing any games. But I think we got 2 guys that can at least try. Because the worst thing, what happened with the Georgetown Hoya centers, Alonzo Mourning, Patrick Ewing, they were taught, it don't matter if he dunks on me. I'm supposed to go try to block that.
Don't forget the late great Dikembe Mutombo.
God bless Dikembe. These guys were taught that. So part of this whole defense thing is like, yo, Mike Brown, Tom Thibodeau, are we scared to go? You guys are old school coaches. I just was reading an article how JB Bickerstaff, Mike Brown used to babysit JB Bickerstaff because Mike Brown used to be on the Denver the Denver coaching staff as a video coordinator, like Eric Spoelstra was, and he used to take care of Bernie Bickerstaff's son, who was JB Bickerstaff, and they were in the video room. So you guys been around from back then. You telling me you didn't watch this? You don't remember that footage of what it means to guard somebody 94 feet, especially when OG has that reputation, which is what I always say. When you have any sort of reputation, that's why SGA gets the offensive calls. Brunson, Jan, all these guys get those calls because they have the rep of being physical and showing they could go to the basket. We're going to get you that foul call. You go to the free throw stripe. Well, the defensive players, it goes for them the same way. Why isn't OG, Mikal, what's Mike Brown scared of? What's
Yeah,
you scared of?
but you know what? It's you got to remember. It's not only Mike Brown. We had these problems with Tom Thibodeau there, and the coaches like you just named, JB. Even when you look at a Spo, the way they coach, you can tell if y'all ain't gonna play defense. I'm gonna get in your ass, and you ain't gonna get in the game. I'm gonna embarrass you out here. So you can tell certain teams they got that grit because they have no choice because the coach is coaching that way. And he's speaking to them in a certain manner, right? Thibodeau, no matter how much of a culture he gave us and how much guys liked him or respected him, we still was a bad defensive team. How many games we were up double digits and lost? How many games, a la playoffs, we couldn't get stops? We almost lost to Philly with a hurt Embiid in the playoffs. But if we supposed to have Mitchell Robinson, OG, Bridges, and everybody raves about Deuce's defense, and then you have a guy like Josh Hart, those are 5 defenders. We are not supposed to be this bad on the defensive end. So I don't know if Mike Brown has to start getting tough and embarrassing guys. As far as like, bro, I'm not putting you on the floor or you're not staying on the floor if you ain't gonna play no defense. It's you ain't gonna stop nobody today. The way the game is spread out, the way these guys are fast, young, athletic, but you gotta be able to make stops. You gotta be able to make it tough. Some of this shit with the Knicks, man. We watched one game in Atlanta where they ran the same play 3, 4 times in a row. That back screen lob. We watched when we just played against Philly. Paul George ran the same play twice and knocked down 2 corner threes. At times it is embarrassing. And it's like, yo, y'all guys been in the league long enough. So for me, I think it's not a coaching thing. I think these guys gotta bring it upon themselves. Like seriously.
I disagree because that's the same argument we've been having when I say Brunson's going to be Brunson as a scorer. I don't expect him to pass the ball. Somebody got to make him pass the ball. Yo, Mike Brown, why don't you go put Brunson on Cade full court? Show him like, then you get your ass bust for a couple plays, sit him down and be like,
You can't do that.
I'm just saying.
You can't.
If it ain't him, it has to be even with Deuce. Even with Kolek. Kolek is this tough. He's a tough defender. Bro, why aren't we using the same tactics they use on our guy? That's all I'm saying. And Mike Brown is supposed to be the elite videotape coordinator with the milk dud head. I've been listen, we starting to like you, Mike Brown, and you starting to talk your shit, but I also see, look who it is in the comments. Oh, Big Flea has time. That's AI Flea, by the way. Just so we get this straight. Flea says, I don't care who else is not. Brunson plays for our Knicks. Who cares if our other guards are not good defenders? Yo, Flea is such a liar.
Flea, what up?
What's going on, Flea? SGA, they are literally taking him off every single coverage. They will switch him off the best man in real time to the other end of the court, play the lone man on the weak side. I saw it. I saw some footage. They get him off of all that because they're saving him for the offensive end. Is OKC's personnel more? Is it deeper than ours? We starting to question this. We liked our bench up until 2 weeks ago. Don't tell me that your one-on-one player who stinks defensively, you don't try to hide him. It's not like See, now the way Flea's talking is as if he's Cam Thomas or some shit. Jalen Brunson ain't no fucking Cam Thomas. He's busting y'all ass. So we need to protect him as much as possible. Are we making an excuse for him? No, we call out. Like, defensively, it's like, yo, dog, this is horrendous. But why aren't we calling out the alleged defensive specialist? They got a nickname. See, you talk about never ever in the history of basketball have I ever seen anyone be nicknamed without doing shit. Big Body got a nickname after he started killing. Let's get that straight. Wingstop is a bus stop, Paul. The
Listen,
Q34, the M13, the M103, the MMSG. What the fuck is going on here? Enough of these shenanigans.
we've seen, guys that were terrific on defense. James Harden in Houston. James Harden may be the worst defender we've ever seen in NBA history. It's on video where he just literally gives up literally every time on defense. What Houston do? I'm gonna put a Chris Paul or a Reza. I'm gonna put guys over there, and for me, I keep telling you, I think Golden State Warriors in that heyday, and I'm not comparing our players to that, but I'm just saying the way they were able to hide Steph Curry. Iman Shumpert, how many times he said we hunted Steph Curry? Every time we got a switch on Steph Curry, we going at him. But those guys, the other guys, held the end of their bargain. Bridges, OG, Deuce, Hart, they're not holding up the end of their bargain on the defensive end. And Flea's correct. I don't want to argue with Flea, but he makes a great point. We can't continue to defend Brunson. He has to get some smoke, right? But listen, we know why we paid them other guys. We was thirsty for OG and Bridges for one reason and one reason only. We said we missing defense. That's what you need to win championships. Or we gonna get two over here. And like you said, they got nicknames without even getting on the court yet and haven't lived up to it yet. So listen, man. Like you said, why we can't put Bridges on Cade Cunningham tonight? Pick him up 94 feet. That's your assignment tonight. Or OG, either one. So it's like, if you ain't got one of those guys, which we thought we had, listen, it's gonna get ugly, man. I'm telling you, in a minute, Knicks fans is gonna start wanting everybody head. I'm telling you. Watch.
Update Detroit Pistons versus the Knicks. Big game tonight. It's a showdown, y'all. It is a showdown. It's about to go down. Big test against the Knicks. Cade Cunningham is probable tonight. He has a hip injury, allegedly. Jalen Duren remains out with an ankle injury. Tobias Harris remains out. Karis LeVert is doubtful with a knee injury. Duncan Robinson is probable with a calf injury. Jalen Duren not playing is obviously a big deal. He suffered a non-contact ankle injury. It looks like a rolled ankle after a drive. Could be out for 1 or 2 weeks, depends on the grade. I guess it happened on this play. He looks like a guard, man. Oh, damn. Yeah. He kind of twisted that up. Shit. He had 12 points and 5 rebounds in 18 minutes while the Pistons were down 104 to 114 against the Heat. And they're squeezing by some victories. Detroit Pistons have surprised us to make this leap so soon in their careers. Obviously, Boston, they're not the same, but we'll get to Jaylen Brown in a second. They're playing tough. The Pistons have been pretty much the second best defense, second highest defensive rating all season long as a team. And as of late, the last 5 games, they were like right outside the top 5 in defense. So obviously the injury with Durant hurt them, and they got a couple guys out. Tobias Harris has been playing decent with them lately. But what are you expecting from them tonight? Do you see a charge? Because it's at Detroit. Like, what are we expecting tonight, old ball?
I'm expecting a dogfight. I'm expecting that list. Cade and them guys is playing. Cade ain't missing this tonight. So miss me with that. I expect a dogfight. That Coach JB over there in Detroit, listen, man, he's tough. He's hard nosed. He's from that tough era. So I'm expecting a dogfight, but this is a game we should win. Um, I'm expecting Brunson to have a big game, and I'm expecting Cat to have a big game. I think those two guys owe us from the other day, but I'm expecting a dogfight. I'm expecting it to go down to the wire. I'm expecting, lead changes all throughout this thing, but I'm going with the best guy on the court. Understand who Cade Cunningham is, but for me, the game is close. Under 5 minutes, Lee called it. Brunson, best clutch player in the NBA. But I think this is going to be a real good game. I think the energy, the electricity in that building is going to be insane, and I just can't wait to watch.
The same way we've been stressing the Knicks all for a big game. Detroit Pistons. Let's not forget we beat them last year. They feel like they have a chip on their shoulder. They could have won, took it to 7 games and beat us. But they have something to prove too. Like I said, I've been watching some Cade stuff, and y'all be trying to talk shit about me. I know what I'm watching. You defend Cade in the by the rim. He doesn't have the finishing touch yet. That's one of his flaws. Keep him on the perimeter. He's been trying to pull up lately and get those threes in rhythm. Be careful with that. Make sure he tries to stay in his mid-range game and just guard him, because they have a lot to prove. He's coming in here. He's going to see food. That's why I want to see OG do his thing. Full court press. Deuce McBride. All balls tired of it. Who are you? All right, hit a couple threes, 44% from 3. All right, this is the new assignment. Our offense can come from anywhere. Tonight, I want to see something different. And we have to prove to the Pistons. We don't want to show them everything, of course. Duren's not there. So now they got a reason to not play up. But they don't have the personality to give up. That coach is not a game. I was saying before you jumped on, who was the first person that went viral for talking shit about OKC? Like publicly. Adamant.
Yeah,
Authority figure.
JB.
Sick of this. Y'all ain't calling no calls for my team. He's fighting for that team. You have a coach. Again, Mike Brown was babysitting JB Bickerstaff. They might have a secret rivalry going on, and I hope Mike Brown is not too nice of a guy to make sure you go for the kill and embarrass that youngling. You let him know you are still young Padawan. Go sun his ass. Dog, I'm changing your diapers. Let's get into it. Let's get it on.
Just last point. A game like tonight, to me, this may sound crazy. This gonna make or break Mike Brown. This is either gonna keep the fans, with you, or we gonna start giving you that side eye. Listen, 4-game losing streak. If we lose tonight in a certain fashion, like I said, getting blown out by the Hawks, basically just getting annihilated by the Sixers, can't get a stop, not one stop, just allowing Maxey to just look like Pistol Pete Maverick on us. Like, so I think tonight, depending on how this game goes, I think, we gonna start looking at Mike Brown with a little bit of side eye, like, yo, bro, come on now. So yeah, this game is very important. I think it's more important for these players. I keep telling you, lead favorite city, the booty. I'm listen, bro. Right now, Giannis is playing the best basketball probably in a long time since his MVP year. If y'all don't think Giannis is out there showcasing for us, going, y'all niggas ain't make the trade yet? Okay, let me show y'all. Because wasn't he supposed to be injured? Yeah, okay. He's telling you, come get me. The time is now. So for me, listen, man, depending on what happens tonight, the rumor mill is going to heat up and it's going to get out of control. Guarantee you, we lose in a certain way tonight. All the Knicks platforms is going to be going berserk, and I'm guarantee you, everybody's going to be up for grabs. Only person name you probably won't hear is Brunson.
Yo, you know what's crazy? Because when you're on the floor, when you're in that mix, you're in the mix, you have no choice but to hear shit. And it hit me earlier today. I don't know if I read a comment or what. I thought about it. I'm like, wait a second. We were already accusing Cat when the season started. He said he felt lost, whatever it was. Giannis already said he came out, New York this, New York that. And now it's like, yo, What if internally then some rumor started heating up? And now it looks like they're playing. Like the last week and a half, it looks like they're playing like them rumors are heating up. Because even the way Mike Brown plays Diawara, it's like you showcasing him and then you bench him. Because for me, I know he hasn't put up great stats, but I'm like, yo, that kind of energy, you don't just sit that down. You don't just, why did you play Yabu all of a sudden and Huck Porty all of a sudden? It's almost like they didn't match. It was 6 guys off the bench last game, and I'm like, not for nothing. This is kind of overkill. Maybe people are tired. I don't know. But it also feels like the energy ain't the same once again. Mitchell Robinson wasn't excited about a starting against Joel Embiid.
Yeah, cause listen, dudes know in the back of their mind, yo, it's like that mental toughness. How are you able to stay focused if all you hearing is to be traded? When you hearing Knicks fans and just the basketball world going, the Knicks need to trade Giannis, give up everybody. The guys ain't mentally tough, and you could tell just by how they playing on the court. And it's just like, yo, man, that to me, that's why guys are playing a little nervous. That's why guys are not having great games because they know I don't care what nobody's safe. All these players that's with the Knicks never had a great time playing basketball like this. Cat was never loved like this in Minnesota. Stop it. OG Bridges, you see the heart, you see how they treated in New York by the fans. Back in their mind, they going, yo, I don't want to leave this shit. And if we trade for Giannis and I'm gonna be in Milwaukee, listen, but the flip side is play better, play great, win ball games. You ain't got to worry about getting traded. You guys are making it easy for us. Sorry.
And I get it. Brunson will come to the territories. Brunson, his family runs the organization. But of course, what we would love to see is Cat go for the kill. I just feel like, yeah, we gonna say it, y'all. You ain't gotta ask Giannis for nothing. He's snatching clipboards out of Doc Rivers' hands. He's had enough. Just like the Knicks players might be on showcase, Giannis Antetokounmpo. He knows right now I'm auditioning for any one of you teams. What do you people mean you ain't trading me to Chicago? He said I threw the windmill on homeboy Vucevic. He said, why you do that? He said, because y'all didn't want to trade for me for you. Yim Yam. Giannis is not playing with these dudes all ball.
But they said that might be a lie just to hype itself up. Big shout out Gilbert Arenas. Guys are saying, was that really true? Because Vucevic said that, right? But let's think about it with Giannis. He solves 2 problems with us. Defensively and a guy that attracts a double and triple team, which means free throws, which means you foul him. We're in the free throw early. That's what I'm saying. I don't know if you watch the game, I don't know how do you not go get Giannis. And seriously, I don't know how you don't just go buy Cat, buy OG, buy Clarkson, and
Shit.
whoever else and whatever pick. You like, I
Or
don't
both
see.
you telling the children's story. Good night, Moon. Good night.
Right. Fabian, I don't understand, bro. If we're able to get Giannis, now if we can keep Cat and Brunson, so be it. But if we're able to get Giannis and still have Brunson, Mitchell Robinson, Josh Hart, and Bridges, what the like what? We
I,
not doing that.
I wish we heard what it was because we know we need Bridges or
And
OG,
like you said, we might get a Bobby Portis back with that.
but you still need Giannis or excuse me, you need a Mikal Bridges or OG because you
No.
prefer
That's
that.
what I said.
Yeah,
I said, Cat. Now, me personally, I might rather Bridges because he's consistent and he plays every game. So for me, I'm saying Cat, OG, Clarkson, another rookie, whoever, in the picks. But let's do it.
for me, it's always going to be OG if I had to keep one of those 2 because him with Giannis is like, and then Mitchell Robinson, that it makes it a scarier defense. And now I understand the identity. That's lockdown defense, and now you figure out the offense. Because Giannis's biggest problem is that he can't really set picks. His pick setting is kind of trash, even though you just said, this is the illegal screen era anyway. But you go figure that out. You got Giannis, Mitchell Robinson, and OG for any amount of plays out there. If you can keep Mitchell Robinson, it turns it changes everything. But the biggest point for me is there's no way Giannis ain't sitting at home. He's the kind of guy, Gilbert and them are right, to make himself mad about something. So he said, "Yo, fuck it, man." I don't think he's just inaccurate about saying Chicago didn't want to trade for me, so I did that. That's y'all didn't want to trade for me. I'm gonna come out here and I'm gonna go bananas. What do you mean? I came back a week early from whatever the injury was, and I'm gonna go crazy. Who do you think you talking to? I'm an MVP. I'm the guy. That guy you got in Cat. Don't let him come here and start talking crazy to Cat, looking at him after every dunk and all that. He's the kind of player that's into that R&B.
Listen, man. Jeff Teague, man, big shout out to him and his platform. He told the story about Cat and Jimmy Butler. He said, "Yo, come on, bro. Everybody know the story." So it's like, bro, Jimmy Butler beat y'all in practice with all the second and third string guys, and he guarded you and bust your ass. Jimmy Butler's what, maybe 6'5", 6'6", maybe?
Let's not forget when him and Ant-Man sitting at the podium, Ant-Man, you'll stop fouling. And Cat think it's a joke.
No, but forget that. I'm just saying, if Jimmy Butler, and this is why when we play against teams, they big man ain't even got to guard you. Listen, bro, I don't know what more to say. Like I said, I told Flea this, last Knicks rehab, it's still a lot of season left. Cat and a lot of them guys got a lot of time to make up. But at the end of the day, if we're going to go for a championship, we need guys to play at a high level night in and night out. And it just seems like you said it. Only Brunson is the only one holding up to the end, holding up the end of the bargain. Who else is doing what they're supposed to do? Sorry, it's up until this point, it's only Brunson and probably Josh Hart. Everybody else is listen, man. Big game tonight. Nervous. You hear me? I'm stumbling. I'm fumbling. I'm bumbling. Shaking in my boots. Let's get this win.
Listen, man. Got a little more time on, boy. You with me?
What we talking about? It depends, man. What we talking about?
We got a choice. Yo. We
Hold
always
on. Big shout to the Baltimore Ravens. 3 years in a row. One of Lamar Jackson's teammates effed them over. Lord have mercy. First, the guy dropped the ball last season in the end zone, and then last night, the kicker missed a field goal for the playoffs. Lord have
Right.
mercy. Shout out to the Ravens, fucking idiots.
I ain't watching football. That ain't my thing anymore. Guys need to bring that real football back. Speaking of real, or ball.
All ball suckers.
Let it be known. We got a guy out here running rampant in these NBA streets. This man came out, claimed to be an astronaut, claimed to be the most interesting man in the history of the NBA. Then he said, y'all robbed me of that December Defensive Player of the Year category, that December Player of the Year month award. Then he comes out and he said, oh, yeah? You guys think I'm joking? You think I'm from the moon for real? I'm going to give y'all 50. Jaylen Brown, all ball, has been going bananas. Bananas. He dazzles with 50 points. You see it there. But the other thing that I see that was really crazy is that Jaylen Brown, before that Clippers game, he said Joe Mazzulla said he called him and he said, yo, man, I'm going to go guard Kawhi. He's supposed to be this and that. He's been on fire lately. Guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to go shut him down. This is the same guy that had to deal with the Jason Tatum rumors. He was talking about, he told Stephen A. Smith on live television, State your sources, you bitch ass nigga. And I quote, that's what Jaylen Brown said, not me. And Stephen A. Smith got rattled. But that's neither here nor there. He came out, dropped 50, is going crazy, and he's defending the best player in the league. All ball. I can only ask this question because it's time. We've hit the threshold. Is Jaylen Brown an R&B alumni?
This is gonna. I can't stand Boston. Benzino. Hate the movie Departed. Anything Boston, kiss my ass. My whole entire ass. I ain't saying pause. Jaylen Brown is on me. Listen, Jaylen Brown is the best shooting guard in the NBA. Right now, Jaylen Brown is better than Ant-Man. He's better than Donovan Mitchell. Now, he's better than Devin Booker. And we're going to talk about that later. Devin Booker, Dylan Brooks, you on basketball right now? Yeah. But Jaylen Brown, he plays real nigga basketball. Listen, the basketball world owes him an apology. We laughed at Jaylen Brown a couple seasons ago. Ain't had no left, all that dumb shit. Couldn't do it on his own. Didn't deserve the $300 million. We forget he wins Eastern Conference MVP. He wins NBA Finals MVP. The question is that we've been talking about for years now. Is Jason Tatum really better than Jaylen Brown, or is he just promoted better than Jaylen Brown? Jaylen Brown is the truth. He's the best shooting guard in the NBA right now. Now, the season goes beyond this, I don't know. But if we're talking up to right now, heavyweight fifth, Jaylen Brown is the best shooting guard in the league. What he's been doing with the Boston Celtics is nothing short of spectacular. Thought they would tank. I thought they would stink. I thought they wouldn't even be watchable. But he is putting on a masterclass. They're the third seed. They may be 1 or 2 games behind us. They right on our heels for that 2 seed. Listen, he's playing hella basketball, and he's proving the world wrong. He's showing y'all that I'm a number one option, whether we like it or want to believe it or not. Jaylen Brown is the truth, and yes, he is R&B for sure. He got toughness, he got grit. You said, and he plays on both ends of the floor. Listen, Jaylen Brown is the truth. We know why people don't like him. That stays off the court. I ain't gonna get into that. But when we talk about basketball, all ball TV, we got to keep it real. Even when we despise Boston and the Celtics and their fans and their players, right? Kiss my ass. Jaylen Brown is the truth. And the real question is, if Jaylen Brown was out and Jason Tatum was here, would they still have this success? That's the question people really need to ask. Because I didn't see this. I like Jaylen Brown, but I was in that boat of making fun of him. So from All Ball himself, Jaylen Brown, my apologies. You a dog and you the truth. But Fabian, he's the best shooting guard in the league right now. And I don't think nobody's seen that. Especially with all these great shooting guards in the league today. He is the best shooting guard in the NBA today.
I thought about it today. I said, I got to ask All Ball. Does Jaylen Brown play that R&B? And he does. He's talking it and living it. He got the Celtics in third place, right behind us in the Eastern Conference. Obviously, Tatum game more polished. He's a little less robotic. Like Jaylen Brown, obviously had to work on his left hand. But there was a time where it was like, I don't know who's going to be better. I don't know who I'd bank on. I don't know if they get along. Remember, Scotty and Mike never really came. They didn't come into the league together a year apart. It was like 3 seasons beforehand. Mike was the clear lead dog. I've seen Craig Hodges saying, if Scottie Pippen would have had that behind him, that whole support system behind him, who knows how things would have turned out. And that's why I always say about Shaq and Kobe, if Mike had Shaq next to him, I think he would have done the same thing as Kobe and be like, yo, you know what? I could win without you. And there hasn't been that between them. But also, Jaylen Brown has never gotten to play this long without Jason Tatum and then prove I might be the best player on the team. And by the time Jason Tatum comes back from that kind of injury, will you come back and be Pippen? Because truth be told, you didn't have a great finals. You didn't have a great Olympics. They benched you in the Olympics. They didn't even consider Jason or Jaylen Brown because he's like, yo, man, he might be R&B all over the court. I don't know if he scammed his way to being an astronaut. I don't know if that shit is real, but I'm believing it. Got his own sneakers, took the big baller brand to another level, shot flame Stephen A. Smith.
Played in the big three. Oh, man, listen, bro.
I forgot about that. He's doing a lot of things where it's like he's putting his money where his mouth is, and we've always respected that about him. We've always respected all that about him. He's a nice guy. He took salsa lessons. Well, I don't even what's her name, Victoria Monet. I don't even learn who she was because he was dancing with the chick.
Oh, man, come on, listen.
I don't know who that is, but I seen it's better than busting the salsa move with nobody. He's coming out here going viral for everything. He's streaming. Remember, he's now he's on TV doing it all ball. This guy, what can't he do? He put one of them WNBA chicks on the side next to Angel Reese. He said Bronny James ain't it on camera. Let's not forget that. Looked at his girl. He said, he ain't got it. Oh, what? You knew the cameras were on you, Jaylen Brown. He's a sneaky Brooklyn Ninja. Might be a grimy Brooklyn Ninja. He's from Georgia. Don't let me forget that. He's going bananas. He's all kind of player. If he played at Rucker Park, it will be crazy. It will be crazy. He's the kind of guy to make that shit light up insanely. I don't know if Tatum would. He's very laid back. And Jaylen Brown comes off laid back, but he's not as animated as Ant-Man. Maybe Ant-Man got the cool factor. He's more charismatic. But I don't see Jaylen Brown backing down from dudes ever. He went back to Isaiah Stewart. He gave him the yo, man.
Listen, he's the truth. Like I said, a lot of people up to this point owe him an apology because nobody saw this. Nobody thought he could do this. Nobody thought he could carry the Celtics by himself, and especially putting up the numbers he's putting up. His last 10 games, he's averaging damn near 40. Like, so for me, we got to give props and props is due. Can he do this for a whole season? Listen, I would be surprised. I would be amazed. So I think if he continue at this pace, you got to put him in that MVP category. Like, seriously, like, to me, what he does, what Jalen Brunson does, to me, that's what an MVP is. Yeah, Joker, we already know what the Joker is, but let's be realistic. When a player is dealing with injuries, when the team is just constructed and just where it's like almost like you ain't good and you still got them in the race, me, that's what an MVP is. So, eventually Jalen Brown is going to have to be spoken about when you're talking about some of the best players in the NBA. You got to start mentioning his name until he has a drop over, until he starts dipping. Listen, he got to be top 5 best player in the NBA right now. You got to put him over Luka and guys like that. To me, it got to be SGA, Joker. I'm putting Brunson in there. I'm sorry, I'm biased. You got to put Jalen Brown in there. After that, but he has to start being mentioned in that. And I think he's taking it personal because when, guys like us and other platforms talk about some of the best players in the NBA, they don't bring his name up. When they talk about some of the best shooting guards in the NBA, they don't bring his name up. So, and he's on the other end of the floor playing defense. So he shut out Jalen Brown, man, for, a guy that we know put in the work because it's starting to show.
Also, Jason Tatum is not on that top 10 list because he's injured. Well, out goes Tatum. In comes Brown. I ain't pausing nothing. I know old boy got to go get ready, but there's no way I'm letting you leave without you reacting to this.
What? And big shout out to that ref that threw Draymond Green out the game. Wow. About
Yes.
fucking time. And it took a female. Big shout out to her for getting Draymond Green the fuck out of there. I think she gave him the first tech, and then the other ref gave him the other tech. But goes to them. And I seen somebody report, or was it somebody's comment? They were like, yo, how does Steve Kerr put up with him? And we've been talking about that for how long now? Like, yo, bro. So big shout out, yo, man.
Yo,
Go ahead.
Draymond got an ill mob. So what kind of pictures you got, bro? Somebody just put a hit out and hit him in the kneecap real quick, man. Cause come on, how is he extorting you guys? Steve Kerr, is he traumatized because Mike punched him in the face in practice and he's too old to fight back? What are you scared of, Steve Kerr?
Listen.
Jimmy Butler the other day, they asked him, yo, do you think you did play better without Draymond? Nah, you didn't see what Dre did in the beginning of the game. He had a couple shots. He was on fire. Shut up, Jimmy Butler. What are you talking about? You scared too.
He ran out KD. He ran off Kawhi. He literally punched off Jordan Poole. And he's about to run away Steve Kerr. I think this is Steve Kerr last season as the Golden State Warriors head coach. I think enough is enough.
I got Fish in the comments. Jaylen Brown is the favorite of the NBA, and all balls to Jason Tatum. Thanks, Fish.
Fish, what up, Fish?
Listen, man. A lot of guys. We're sick of these dudes, but I wish Flea was here for this because they're just proving me right over and over again, and all ball has said it as well. Rich Paul is back at it. Yeah, it's Rich Paul. But I love the fact that he says stuff like this.
He's still around? I thought we was done with them. Lord have mercy. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
He's back, fell for the trap. Max Kellerman, disappointed in you. Comparing Michael Jordan and LeBron James again.
Back to North Carolina, etc.
Right.
He comes to Carolina
with the powder blue. Yeah.
It was only, by the way, back then, it was only 3 colorways. And so if you bought a pair of shoes, but here's the other thing. People didn't buy MJs because they wanted to be just like Michael Jordan. That was half of the people, half of the consumers. You know what the other half was? They wanted to be like Max, who had the BMW and the cute girl that had on Michael Jordan.
Sure.
So now, if you get both of those consumers, you have the entire market share.
Pause that. Y'all talking to a nigga that was outside. I was born in 77. Y'all talking to a nigga that was outside. Rich Paul, what the fuck are you talking about? We bought mics because we wanted to be like Mike. We actually wore them shit because we thought we was... Listen, a nigga bought the mics, watched Come Fly With Me, put the mics on, and really thought you was going to be like Mike. We was out there trying Mike moves, nigga. The fuck are you talking about? What are you talking about? One, back in them days, females wasn't even wearing Jordans, nigga. They was wearing 5411s. What are you talking about? Yo, baby, put me on the screen with you, please. This is what I mean. Y'all keep getting bamboozled by these niggas. This the same nigga that said he was rolling dice and he was in the hood, right? He lying. He's lying. He's lying. What are you talking about? Yo, that's the dumbest shit I ever heard. Everybody wore mics because they wanted to be like Mike. And them shits was fire. Nobody wore those because they saw a guy with the BMW and his girl had the... What the fuck are y'all talking about? And Max Kellerman being from New York, understanding the culture, agreeing with that dumb shit. Oh, yeah. What's up? Yo, this is what I always tell you, bro. Guys like us, it's hard for us to break through because we too thorough and authentic. It's all... These niggas got machines behind them. They all full of shit. They all tell lies. Bro, I'm not saying I'm outside to glorify anything. I'm telling you why we wore mics. Niggas was trying mic moves, bro. Outside. On biddy courts. Dunk. We trying all that shit, layups. Bricking that shit. Talking about. Yo, man, I can't... If there's one thing I wish, is that I never hear Rich Paul talk again. If I could never hear Rich Paul talk again, my life will be fine. He is so full of shit, it don't even make no sense, bro. And this, once again, trying to spin a narrative for his guy. Bro, we don't care no more. Nobody cares about the LeBron Mike comparison. If you really think about it, nobody even talks about that shit no more, bro. Niggas is comparing other shit now. Kobe to Tim Duncan, all this other shit. Niggas ain't even talking about Michael LeBron. Bro, that y'all lost that battle. I'm sorry. Y'all niggas kids and wives and moms is wearing mics. What are y'all talking about? Bro, what are we talking about? Y'all niggas ain't even wearing LeBrons. You think Mike kids is gonna wear LeBrons? Like, come on, bro. This shit is so for me, Rich Paul. I would give you a very smart guy, but with some things, you sound like an idiot, bro. That was the dumbest take I ever heard. I don't even know where you came from that with. Did you practice that before you came on the show? Because that shit ain't make no sense. None at all. Because you gotta really think. Fabian, these dudes is crazy, bro. These dudes, yo, my nigga, that's the dumbest shit I ever heard. Like, seriously. Nobody looked at a nigga female feet and said, I want those. Are you kidding me? Am I bugging it? Isn't that what he said? He didn't say the dude in the BM had the sneakers on. He said, because the guy with the BM had the girl and she had the Jordans on. That's what he said, right? Am I bugging? Yeah, put it back. Am I bugging?
They wanted to be just like Michael Jordan. That was half of the people, half of the consumers. You know what the other half was? They wanted to be like Max, who had the BMW and the cute girl that had on Michael Jordan.
Sure.
So now,
the influencers.
if you,
I'm not sure if he's saying the dude with the BM had him on or Shorty had him on.
Either way, he's wrong. Simple and plain. Either way, he's wrong, bro. And you know what's crazy? Back in them days, this wasn't when Mike. Bro, I was yo, Fabian. I'm telling you from personal experience. Right? I was born in 77. Mike came on the scene, and went on wildfire, 84, 85? Right. So I'm 7, 8 years old. So let's say, because Rich Paul and them got to be maybe young, a little younger than me or my age. I'm 48.
They're my brother's age because LeBron is my brother's age. He's 41 going
Well, them
on.
dudes was 40, 41. So they 5 to 6 years younger than me, right? Bro, he don't know what he's talking about. Simple and plain. He don't know what he's talking. So that means when I was 20, they was 15. Right?
Mm.
Bro, I'm telling you, when I was 20, that's 1997. We bought mics, but you know what we was really wearing? Timbs, bro. What niggas talking about? What you talking about? Timberlands, beef and broccolis, chuckers, trucks, Gore-Tex, shell toes, bright Nikes. Bro, these niggas don't know what they talking about, bro. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Yeah, we bought mics, but Mike was the minimum at that time. Like, so niggas timelines be, bro, they don't know what they talking about. I'm sorry. Unless it was a Cleveland thing, wherever they from. I'm telling you, from a person that was outside, that analogy was the worst analogy I ever heard.
Even with that analogy, if that's what was going on in Cleveland and Akron, why is the dude in the BM rocking Jordans? What are you talking about?
Thank you.
If I got a BM and I'm going in the BM with Jordans, today it's not a must to have a BM and have LeBrons. You just, the influencers. Max Kellerman is a total disappointment. And that brought it all down.
I told you.
Absolutely. Remember, I said this is the worst podcast ever. And this is what I'm saying. Because it goes back to what we always said. All you guys that play ball want to be in front of a microphone, I don't get it. This is a different talent. You don't have that talent. And there's no way you're walking into Nike's office and you saying some dumb shit like that. They made a movie about the dude that signed Michael Jordan for Nike. Sonny Vaccaro, legend. He's partially a legend because he made this whole thing happen. Because he let you into the door. You got a $100 million deal from Nike because of Mike. Because of how fire it was. And it's the total opposite. When I was in junior high school, I couldn't get them. But everybody had them. You wanted them. You would have died for them. Nah, Jordan's was like a gold chain. All you read in the newspaper was people getting raw for Jordans. You was scared to wear Jordans. It was prestigious. It was a gold chain. So for me, Rich Paul thinks he's slick because you're trying to promote yourself as a celebrity now. Got a celebrity wife. Let LeBron catch wind that you trying to be bigger than him. He's going to dame dash you, bro. I already see right through your bullshit because it's all crumbling down. Because you know what happens? After LeBron, what you really got with Clutch Sports? Because the goal is to sell that thing. You ain't trying to keep Clutch Sports for what? What happens when LeBron leaves? Clutch Sports is dead. You're like the 6th-ranked agency in the league. Nobody ever respected you. And when you left CAA and did them dirty, Leon Rose was there. You think your name is good with them? Part of the reason why you ain't good is because of the way you talk. Talking like this, you walking into Nike and telling them nobody wanted to be like Mike. Meanwhile, they were trying to sell $2 million worth of kicks, $5 million worth of kicks. You think that happened because a dude in the BM had Jordans on? Bro, they were selling like $25 million a month. They went crazy. They went crazy. He was a phenom. He changed celebrity.
He changed everything, bro.
Everything. He's up there with Michael Jackson. You ain't got nobody. LeBron is up there with Beyonce. Okay. But nobody's dying for LeBrons like that. Rich Paul got to be very careful with all this because I'm seeing through you, bro. You want to be LeBron. And everybody else that tried that in the league, they failed. Kevin Durant, Kyrie, James Harden, Kawhi Leonard, all try to switch teams up, and they failed. He's the one of one. Rich Paul, you were really acting like if there was no LeBron, you could have been an agent. Impossible. Even with them allegedly trying to change the rules, you got to go to school for 1 year, and everybody claimed, yo, it was racist, because Rich Paul, bro, they been had black agents. BJ Armstrong and these dudes, you know what they did? They went and got their credentials, and they sound like they know what they're talking about. They don't make shit up. BJ Armstrong's working for the Kings now. When we hear them talk, we don't hear shit like this. It's disappointing because it's another guy that's utilizing, leveraging his celebrity to get on the mic and try to go viral, shit on Stephen A. Smith and everybody else, and all you do is the same tactics that are trash. What is the next step after this? You're reaching because you want to be a superstar. Dog, your man is the star. What we always talk about. Why can't you just be happy with letting him live? I just seen Fat Joe and Tony A talking about that. Fat Joe was like, yo, I wish I had somebody like you. I hated y'all, but I loved your role because it's like, damn, to be that loyal, you can't buy that. Rich Paul, keep playing. Keep playing. Max Kellerman, quit that show, please. This is trash.
Max Kellerman is looking like Skip on these streets. Where meaning like it's coming to a point, bro, where you've been gone for so long that we don't care about you no more. And we can laugh and say what we want about Stephen A, but people still care about wanting to see him and what he has to say, whether it's to roast him, whether it's to disrespect him, or whether it's to like him. Max Kellerman been gone for so long, and then now I see Max Kellerman does have a stick up his ass. He does think he's smarter than everybody in the room. And before it didn't come off as smug, but now it is. And to me, that combination and being gone for so long, and then now you're on a platform with Rich Paul and you just turns into a yes man with things that's just flat out lies. I'm being real, bro. He's looking like Skip, where it's like the social media world left you. It's too far gone. Bro, it's over. It's over. Guys like that, if you ain't on the tube on the TV screen, bro, you ain't gonna make it on this right here. Yeah, you're gonna do your numbers because of your name. But as far as like just great content and people looking and checking for you, bro, that shit ain't gonna happen. It's sad because we really root for Max Kellerman. I used to watch Max Kellerman on public access 2, 3, 4 in the morning with my pops, bro. Like I remember Max, and to now do this, it's corny, but them dudes, you hit it on the nose. Some guys are not just cool with just being happy. He wants to be a celebrity. He wants to be a star. He wants, the lights, cameras, and action, the flash when he jumps out of his car by himself. Bro, y'all niggas just make yourself look like idiots. That's why I told you, dog. Like, I always make this. It's like the connect on the block hand to hand. Why does Rich Paul have a podcast? Why does
for what reason?
Why? 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 Come on, bro. I told you this a long time ago. If y'all not gonna run this thing like a record label, when you get the big deal and then you sign people and you putting people on, what's the purpose? You got 100 million, you gonna get a podcast for 20 million for what? Knowing you really don't want to do it, knowing you don't have the time, the energy, knowing you don't have the love and passion for it. What are you doing it for? Because you bored? Because you're trying to hold your man down and spin that narrative because the clock is ticking and his legacy is getting hit every game. Because every season he's a Laker and don't win, and y'all keep getting him all this beautiful help. This is what his legacy is doing. Everybody laughed at me 3-4 years ago. You praise his legacy is cemented. No, it's not. Why you think he's still playing? So you telling me every year, first round knockout, conference final sweep, don't make the playoffs. Oh, you get Luka, still unsuccessful. Your legacy don't take a hit? Ain't no coincidence your man would have got a podcast. Oh, bro, they trying to gain the people back. It's over, my dude. Over. Pack you niggas up.
Never heard anything great about him. Ever. And I mean, you know, I've heard
Me neither.
plenty of people say LeBron, he's a nice guy. But Rich Paul, I've always just heard like, I ain't rocking with homeboy. And Kenya Martin tried to come out recently after, you know, Rich Paul went viral. He's just like, yo, I never seen an agent do that before. These are words that just, it's unfortunate. I'll leave it with this. We can tell, we know your type. I don't want to be around people like you. I just want it. If you got the right deal for me, I know who I'm dealing with. I'm not gonna, I just know like your whole time, I could get you a better deal than anybody. I know how to make my players money. It's like, so why do people leave you? If you're that great of an agent, why are people leaving you? Because you think that Michael Jordan sneakers sold because nobody wanted to be like Michael Jordan. That's why people are leaving. You're not number one. That's what happens. You think you're gonna be bigger than CAA, a Hollywood agency, and you stab them in the back? The dudes, that's a Hollywood agency for 50 years now. Who like, I get it. We all got egos. You want to tackle the monster. You want to beat the David versus Goliath.
Let's say it one more time just to see if it makes sense for the people in the chat and for my brother. So you got to remember, if you go from 85 to 97, this is Mike's just out of control, right? You telling me only half people that bought Mike's bought them because they wanted to be like Mike. The other half bought them because they seen guys in BMWs wearing them. Bro, we were watching something that we never seen before. That's why we bought the mics. Ain't nobody bought mics because Joe Blow had a BMW and had them on. What are you talking?
But how do you think everything else blows up? Iceberg, even when Iceberg had his run, it was like you seen certain people wearing them, but it had to get some sort of recognition from somewhere. Like, this is the exclusive thing. It costs $500. So yeah, but certain people had to wear them. How you think they got to wear them? Because they weren't $50, and they went to go get them because it was Mike's. It was the first time ever that we saw that anybody wanted to buy sneakers because of that guy like that. Yeah, you had magic in them, but this was a different story. It felt like if I put these on, I could be like Mike. It was, of course, it's marketing, but you can't get that marketing without that guy. He's a different level. They're just mad they could never, ever reach that. And it just is what it is. The cards weren't dealt like that for you, bro. Your man is the man. Leave it at that. Because I'm telling you, we're going to hear about it. LeBron, agent, break up. LeBron buys him out for $50 million from Clutch Sports because he wants to sell that shit to CAA. Trust me, it's happening. You keep fucking up that money because you want to be popping. All ball. We got business to attend to. 7 a.m. tonight. There's a watch party, y'all. Look,
PM tonight.
7 p.m. Eastern time. I kept the mic of this right here. All ball on the screen. Extra time. Because I knew once he heard that, he was going bananas. And you know he's going bananas for this game. He's nervous. I'm nervous. We're all nervous. It's a showdown in Motown. Ball. 7 p.m. Thanks for tuning in, y'all. Could have been anywhere else. See you then. Ball TV. They scared, but I'm not. They don't like comentario.
Y suscribe.